This media is brought to you by Polyscope.
In the realm of tomorrow, where techniques mind, we ponder, we dream.
Good morning, this is ThinkFuture. It's show 1077. Thanks for joining us. So today I want to talk a little bit away from technology. And I want to talk a little bit about the world we live in. The world we live in. Now we have, for the longest time, discussed the concept of success. What is a success? How to be a success? How to do better in this world? How to raise yourself up, to take yourself up class levels, whatever you want to call it, is that we're all born into a specific class system. No matter where we are, and I talked about this before with social media classes, we still have a hierarchical system. I think that's something about the human race. The human race has to have a hierarchy. I think we need, in some way, communists and socialists and all these people who think we can live on the same level, I don't believe that human beings have that capability. Maybe we can grow that capability at some point in the future, but I don't think we can live without some kind of hierarchy. We need to know where we are in the pecking order. And once we know where we are in the pecking order, then we can decide to move up within the pecking order or be happy with wherever we are in the pecking order. So we can decide to become more successful, we can decide to move up through the hierarchy, or we can decide to move down. Well, sometimes we don't decide to move down through the hierarchy, we just fall down through the hierarchy, either through things we've done, or things that we haven't done, or simply things that occur outside of our control. Now, there has been this discussion about a couple of things that can help you become more successful. And in that discussion, we have these two items, talent and perseverance. And I was always under the impression that talent outshone perseverance. And I have seen people be successful, completely untalented, and I'm not saying untalented in the sense of they don't know what to do, but in the sense of they've, sat down and they've been a prodigy at birth, or there's some genetic combination of factors that turn them into an untalented or a talented individual. So there's the obviously talented individuals. There's the people who sort of sit up and just go ahead and they can effortlessly do something that it takes other people to think about real hard or learn how to do. Child prodigies, musicians, artists, writers, people who can do things effortlessly. They have the talent to do these things. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to talent. So there's people who have these talents. And the thing is that when they have these talents and when they apply these talents, sometimes it makes things easy for them, so that it's easier for them to slack off in the perseverance part of things because the talent helps them go through. Whether they're good looking or they have an amazing talent or whatever it is, the talent helps them become successful. And sometimes they are found and they become successful in that way. The talent drove them to success. And on the flip side, that there are those who may not have as much talent or in the same kind of talent or talent that people want at the moment, and they work through perseverance. They just continue to work and work and work and work. And that's part of the whole myth of the 10,000 hour rule, right? It's like you take somebody who's sort of a mediocre player, and then you let them practice and practice and practice and practice for 10,000 hours. And apparently by the end of those 10,000 hours, or around 10,000 hours, they start to get good. They start acting the same way as someone who was talented from the beginning, who didn't have to practice those 10,000 hours to do it. Now, of course, we all know that is a myth now. The 10,000 hour rule only works in places where there's a specific rule set, like in chess or in basketball, in some kind of sport where there's a set of rules, and it's a limited world. It's not the world at large, it's a limited world. So there's worlds that are limited, and there's worlds that are unlimited. And in these unlimited worlds, it's almost impossible to become amazingly talented, even at 10,000 hours, 100,000 hours, a lifetime. But I digress. So the thing is that we believe it's talent or perseverance. And if you have talent or if you have perseverance, you'd be able to become successful. Now, I think that there's a third thing that we haven't thought about. that we think that someone with talent can become successful and someone with perseverance can become successful. But people with talent, no talent, or perseverance can also become successful too. I mean, you can see them every day. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I can start naming names, but I'm not going to. But you see it yourself, don't you? You see it yourself in your daily life that you see people who are talented who are successful. You see people who work really hard who are successful. You also see people who work really hard who are not successful. You also see people who are talented who are not successful. And you see people who don't work hard and are not talented and they still become successful. What is this third factor that we're talking about, that people who are not talented and don't persevere, they're not hard workers, how is it that they become successful? Now, a fraction of it is luck. A fraction of that is always luck. If you're in the right place, at the right time, with the right message, to the right people, then you can have a viral hit and become successful. But that is extremely, extremely rare. So what is this fourth thing? What is this last way that you can become successful if you're not talented, if you don't persevere, and you've got really bad luck? What is this fourth way to become incredibly successful without those other things? I bet you know what it is. I bet you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's other successful people giving you a leg up. Other people saying to you, hey, I'm going to discover you. And they even if you don't have the talent, and if you don't have the perseverance, and you don't have the luck, although of course you could conceivably say that these people who are finding you and giving you a leg up, that's lucky, right? But it doesn't necessarily need to be luck. If you put yourself in front of the right people at the right moment, in the right time, and the right person who's willing to give you a leg up, those people and that person can make you successful. So it's not just talent. It's not just perseverance. It's not just luck. It's not just knowing the right person. It's making sure that the right person knows you. And how does the right person know you? You just have to keep on screaming into the void. The more often you create content, the more often you put stuff out there, the more chances that you will become known by someone who can then look at you and go, hey, that guy right there, I like his stuff. Let's help him up. So that's right, folks. Perseverance, talent, luck, somebody can help you. How do you get in front of people? They need to know you. You don't necessarily need to know them. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.
Pixels and philosophies merge and mold, a future untold, unseen.